Imagine a weapon so powerful it could rewrite the course of World War II, yet it fired no bullets and dropped no bombs. This weapon was deception, an elaborate multi-sensory performance orchestrated by a secret unit of artists, actors, and sound engineers. For decades, their existence was the ultimate military secret. In the heart of the European conflict, while millions fought and died on real battlefields, a small, highly unconventional unit, the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, was waging a war of the mind. Their mission was simple in concept, yet impossibly complex in execution: to impersonate two divisions of the United States Army, numbering over 30,000 men, when in reality, they were just 1,100 creatives. How could a few hundred artists and actors convince Hitler's seasoned high command that a massive army was poised to strike in one location, while the real invasion was happening miles away? This is the definitive story of the Ghost Army, a tale of strategic brilliance, artistic genius, and how illusion saved thousands of lives. The truth, as we shall see, is far stranger than fiction. To truly appreciate the Ghost Army, we must understand the high stakes of 1943. The Allies knew that a massive ground invasion of Europe was necessary, but surprise was essential. German intelligence, though stretched, was formidable, and any sign of troop buildup had to be aggressively countered. The concept of large-scale military deception, known as ruse de guerre, was not new, but the American approach was revolutionary. Instead of focusing on brute force, the idea was to exploit the German military's rigid reliance on meticulous reconnaissance. The 23rd Special Troops were not built from seasoned infantry. They were hand-picked from institutions like Pratt and Parsons, recruited for their creative skills. This was a psychological unit, designed to manipulate what the enemy saw, heard, and read. Their toolkit was categorized into 4 pillars of deception: visual, sonic, radio, and theatrical. We begin with the most bizarre element, the visual lie. The visual deception was the most stunning. The core technology involved inflatable dummies, tanks, jeeps, and artillery pieces made of rubber and supported by minimal metal frames. A full-size Sherman tank, which weighed 30 tons, could be inflated in minutes and moved by 2 men. From 10,000 feet, these decoys looked indistinguishable from real armored divisions. They even painted tire tracks leading up to the decoys to suggest recent movement. But visual proof was useless without audible evidence. This leads us to sonic deception, the power of sound. The unit's sound engineers used state-of-the-art recording equipment to capture every relevant sound of an army: the rumble of tanks, the marching of troops, the chatter of mechanics. These sounds were amplified through powerful, customized speaker systems mounted on half-track vehicles, capable of projecting realistic sounds over 15 miles. A handful of speakers could simulate the assembly of an entire armored division at night, all based on a carefully timed script of military noises. The combination was disorienting. The German aerial reconnaissance would spot the tanks, and the German ground patrols would hear the movement. All signs pointed to a large, real army. The third pillar, radio deception, was arguably the most crucial. Military intelligence relies heavily on radio traffic analysis, the volume, location, and the unique fist, the style of tapping Morse code, of the operators. The Ghost Army's radio team meticulously replicated the communication patterns of the real divisions they were impersonating. They sent coded messages that, when intercepted by the Germans, confirmed the false troop locations and readiness. The operators often intentionally included minor mistakes to make the traffic seem spontaneous and authentic, completely deceiving the enemy codebreakers. Finally, the theatrical deception was the unit's secret sauce. The artists and actors took on the roles of soldiers. They wore the patches and insignias of the divisions they were impersonating. They drove real vehicles, purposefully showing themselves to local collaborators or enemy spies in pubs and towns near the fabricated troop locations. They even invented fake VIPs and gossip to spread around. This was human intelligence manipulation at its finest, ensuring that ground sources confirmed the false information gathered by air and radio. All four pillars converged in Operation Fortitude, the master plan to mask the true target of the Normandy landings. Fortitude was split into two parts: Fortitude North, aimed at Norway, and Fortitude South, aimed at the Pas de Calais. The Ghost Army was a key component of Fortitude South, convincing the Germans that General George S. Patton, one of the most feared Allied commanders, was in charge of a massive force poised to strike at Pas de Calais, the narrowest point in the English Channel. The illusion was flawless. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, as the real forces landed in Normandy, Hitler and the German High Command remained convinced that the main attack was a diversion. They held crucial reserve units, including two key panzer divisions, far north in the Pas de Calais for weeks. This strategic hesitation, orchestrated almost entirely by the Ghost Army's theatrical deception, gave the Allies the precious time they needed to secure their beachheads. The success of D-Day was not just a victory of arms, but a victory of unparalleled psychological warfare. Throughout the rest of the war, the Ghost Army executed 21 different operational deceptions near the front lines, often drawing enemy fire and attention away from real troops. Their operations are estimated to have saved between 15,000 and 30,000 Allied lives. Yet their silence was mandatory. For more than 5 decades, their story was classified top secret. These veterans, many of whom became renowned artists, designers, and sculptors after the war, could not speak of their greatest triumph. The secret was finally declassified in 1996. The story of the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops proves that in military strategy, perception is reality. It is a testament to the power of human ingenuity that a dedicated group of artists and innovators could wield the brush and the microphone as effectively as a tank or a rifle. Closing. The history books often focus on the tanks, the generals, and the battles, but sometimes the greatest heroes are those who fought the war without ever firing a shot. What part of the Ghost Army's mission impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden histories of the world's greatest conflicts.